The 2011 NBA Finals left one of the most important marks on LeBron James's career. Sure, he achieved a lot throughout his time in professional basketball, but his failure to win the title in his debut year with the Miami Heat seems to always follow him around. In this video, let's have a look at his thoughts on losing the championship. First off, the effect that loss had on LeBron. Out of all the final series the 37-year-old has lost in his career, the one against the 2011 Dallas Mavericks is one he really should have won. The Mavericks, led by Dirk Nowitzki, won a famous championship over the Miami Heat and James in 2011, a remarkable story for the underdogs. While he would rebound from that by winning consecutive NBA titles in 2012 and 2013, he revealed that he still feels burned by that series even today. Sure, the finals were a massive letdown and something we never see from a superstar level player, but what we didn't know was how much they affected him. He fell victim to the expectations he set for the world as he opened his Miami Heat career by promising the fan base multiple championships. Everyone took the Mavericks losing in that finals for granted, even though the team had dominated the Western Conference thoroughly. Dallas swept the Los Angeles Lakers, eyeing a three-peat playoff run, and everyone knows that team's underrated. They beat LeBron just as much as he struggled to compete against them. When a player like him is being compared to Michael Jordan, a loss like the 2011 finals will forever sting him because MJ went 6-0 in the finals. James has gone 4-6, with the other 5 losses still being explainable because of weak or injured teams. Still, he will never be able to move past the 2011 finals failure if his goals being looked at as the champion of basketball when he retires. Next up, his initial comments on the loss back in 2011. It's also important to have a look at what he said right after he actually lost all those years back in 2011. 2 days after the event, he clarified his comments about losing the championship. James had received some criticism for making a blanket statement that seemed to trivialize fans who cheered against him in the Heat. He said that all the people rooting for him to fail will wake up tomorrow and have the same life they had previously. But he's going to continue to live the way he wants to live and do the things he wants to do. Other people can get a few days or months or whatever the case may be on being happy, but the Miami Heat has to get back to the real world at some point. A few days later, he backed this statement up by elaborating on it further. He said fans had misinterpreted his words, and what he actually meant was that this season was over, so everyone else has to move on with their lives, good or bad. Just like them, he does too. It certainly didn't mean he thought he was superior or better than anyone else. About the loss, he said he was especially upset because he felt like he had let his teammates down with poor performance. LeBron averaged just 17.8 points and had several poor late game efforts during the series as the Mavericks won the final 3 games to take the title. Moving on, what he said he learned after the loss. Sure, the loss still pisses him off, and he's quite disappointed about it. But according to James, he also learned quite a lot from it. He said the first thing he took in was that he shouldn't care about what people say. The mistake of caring about people's opinions led to him losing out on the championship. Then he said that the Heat lost the 2011 NBA Finals because he wasn't even present. With his move to the Heat, all he wanted to do was to prove the doubters wrong, but in that process, he lost himself. So when it was time to deliver, the Akron Hammer couldn't get the job done. He had his worst NBA Finals performance, averaging only 17.8 points, 7.2 rebounds, and 6.8 assists. The Heat were very stunned in just 6 games because Dirk won one of the toughest championships ever. After the loss, he also became subject to a lot of hate. However, after learning his lesson, he didn't make the same mistake twice. In the following years, he shut out the noise and went off in the finals. He won back-to-back finals MVPs for the Miami Heat. After that, he took the tough road and won a title with his hometown team called the Cleveland Cavaliers. Tuning out the noise made him much more focused on his mission and helped him become successful. So it only goes to show that sometimes even the most talented people need to fail to grow and become winners. And now for some other related news. First off, LeBron's return to Cleveland was ruined by Donovan Mitchell's 43-point explosion. The Cavaliers welcomed LeBron by showing a tribute video of the 2015 and 16 title of him to the fans on the big screen. Before the game began, there were MVP shouts all over the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse in Cleveland, but they weren't for the player anyone would think. They were for Donovan Mitchell. While Jarrett Allen was on a hot streak, Russell Westbrook led led the charge for the Lakers and at one point had them leading 41-38. The lead didn't last for long as the Cavs ended quarter 2 with a 15-4 run. Mitchell was more so just getting fired up with 14 points and 4 assists at halftime. Donovan Mitchell took things into his own hands and scored 12 points in the third quarter, taking his tally to a team high of 26 points. From the other side, who else but LeBron came into the swing of things and helped his team close the lead. The end of third quarter saw the Cavs leading 85-83. We saw Mitchell going into full gear and he didn't stop scoring in the later stages of the game. At one point, he tied the game at 92, but then the Cavs went on a 21-6 run, basically sealing the game. The final scoreline was 116-102, but with the Cavs taking an important win to their name. Mitchell completely overshadowed LeBron's return by amassing 43 points. After the game, he said that Mitchell was a special kid. Next, audiences think Donovan could remake the image of the Cleveland Cavaliers more than LeBron did. It's an undeniable fact that what LeBron has done for the brand image and awareness of the Cleveland Cavaliers can't be matched. Admittingly, Cleveland was a huge brand in the 1980s and 90s, but soon all of it died down until he came to save them. The franchise was just floating, along with no major improvements over the years and zero to no ambition to win titles. James played a huge role in changing the mindset of the whole organization. Now, audiences think Donovan could remake the image of the Cleveland Cavaliers more than LeBron ever did. We don't think that's possible though. No doubt, he was himself an amazing player and made players around him better, but he didn't elevate the brand as much. The story was more about LeBron's game rather than his playing a role in the franchise's external matters. In fact, in his entire first stint for the Cavs, he couldn't attract star players to join him. Even in his second run with them, that didn't really change. The guys that joined him there either came in via a trade or by the draft. Only 2 big names were on the roster with him throughout his run: Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love. Lastly, fans think LeBron would fit amazingly on the Cavaliers. Now, fans think James would fit really well on the Cavaliers. After all, the team is neatly packed at the point guard, power forward, center, and shooting guard positions. A boost to the small forward position might be just what they need to become unbeatable. While the All-Star isn't exactly in line with the young players or on their level, he has been the greatest to wear a Cavs uniform, and the truth of the matter is that he can really help the other players to be on their A game. This team of all 5 players has the potential of becoming something extraordinary, and if James is to retire post that, we think this would be an excellent way to say goodbye. The basketball superstar has an insane basketball IQ, and with his years in the game, he knows how to motivate as well as better the surrounding players. He's played with stars like Irving and Wade. Now imagine if he'd get to play with them both on one team. Wouldn't that be a treat to watch? We can't tell you how excited we are for this partnership, and if this goes through, we'll be over the moon. And that's a wrap for this video, guys. What did you think of LeBron James losing the 2011 championship? Are you also pissed at the loss just like he is? Let us know in the comments below. Do give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell for similar videos. See you in the next one.